Hey YouTube, it's Matt with Olympus Reptile, and I'm still hanging out with Cody from, well, Pride of Texas Python, and also now, I'm going to let you say it, I want to make sure I get it right.
Yep. Pride of Texas Rack Systems.
Pride of Texas Rack Systems.
Yep.
So there we go, so Pride of Texas. And a lot of you have been asking me lately, like, at least once a day, minimum, I've been getting a comment or a question of whether it's in a message box I'm not able to get to, or whether it's on a video. Hey, what are you going to do now for racks? What's going to happen because TGR is currently closed? What are you going to do? And I said, I don't know, but something will come up. Well, something's come up, and I think we found the solution. Now, this is a first run, right? So this is kind of almost, well, this is pretty close to the exact what we're going to do, but kind of test series, right?
Pretty close, yeah. The technically second run. I've built one more, but getting the kinks worked out on it. There's only two things that I'm changing on it, and that's just a measurement change to it, and then they're complete. So as you see it, these are the way that it's going to come, though.
So you guys are going to see a very good option for what we are likely going to be using for racks. And it takes everything that I liked about the TGR and it's incorporated in here. So there's a lot of similarities. There's also a lot of differences, correct?
Correct.
There's things that, because you were also using the TGR racks.
Yep.
And so when they went out, kind of like me, you're like, I don't know where my stuff's going to come from. And since you're actually skilled and I'm not, you just made your own solution. If I'd have made my own solution, it would have been bad. But, and then you kind of talked to us about it and you brought it here and it's amazing. So some of the things that are different, I'm going to let you discuss it, but some of the things are to work on rigidity, to work on structure, and to make sure things can hold together long term. I want to understand too, if I get ahead of myself, let me know, but there's no glue in this, right?
No glue. Everything's screwed in to include, which you'll see here in a little bit, the back heat panels, the runners holding the heat tape in, and the heat tape itself is stapled into those runners.
So everything's physically connected. Or before, I know we were using a really strong plastic weld that we never had I never saw it fail, had an issue, but this is married. Like it's screwed in together. And then something else I want to point out, and like, is this right here. So talk about these cuts, because that's different than what we see over here. You know, these are all just flush, and this is actually notched in.
So these are, I'm going to go off camera for a second so I can actually pull this down. I can show you a better view of this. So these are dado cuts. We've got a dado blade set for the table saw, and they're just 1/4 inch cut grooves in there, and then those shelves fit into them and get screwed in, and then it's all three sides. So this runs down the length of it on both sides, and then obviously this back piece. And when you have the back piece in those three sides with the dado cuts holding each shelf in there, it adds a whole lot of stability.
So one of the things we always talked about, if you had just a single 10 stack, you know, you'd have a lot of wobble to it, you know, and had to clip things together. You're not going to have near as much of that with this, and you can see it ain't going anywhere. You know, whereas I can show you here. I mean, that's pretty clear. Like, you know, I'm not trying to pick on these work great, but when you decided to make your own, you said, what would I want different? And you've made that there, and that was kind of the solution. So this would take a lot more work and labor to do, though, right?
Yeah, it takes a little bit. I don't know. It's weird. Nothing about it's hard. It's time, and it's a lot of time consuming, though.
Right.
I'll tell you that.
And I noticed these runners, too. You've made these a lot thicker than like the previous. So what was your thought process here?
Even though they've never failed on me on my 20s, I know over time they might bend. I don't trust them as much, and it doesn't cost me too much to make these runners. So I wanted to make them a little bit more robust. I want a product that's going to last, you know, not only 5 years but 10 years, 20 years down the road.
So you're just looking at thicker, stronger, almost over-engineering, but it's kind of like when it's over-engineered, you don't have to worry about a fail.
Well, plus, you know, when you've got a snake out here, and you know you get 10 pounds sitting in the tub.
Right.
Over time, I don't want that to fail.
So. And too, work with venomous snakes, when you got them at fulcrum, it's heavier. 10 pounds feels a lot more here, so the pressure pushing back, like you're talking about in that soap thing, back here with that snake and litter is a lot more than what it would seem. But I would imagine, too, the thicker runners are going to help, but that dado cut is also going to add that structure and strength to that, too.
Right.
Because now that weight is going to be shared all along through this whole row and through this whole row.
Right. And
instead of just being glue, it's sitting there. This is holding the pressure along with the screws holding the pressure, correct?
Correct.
So,
yeah, your shelf's not going to warp on you over time.
Oh, I forgot. That does not normally go all the way through. We got the back off to show you a few things. Look, if we go to one of these lower ones, I promise it does stop. That was just me. But so this, this is, I mean, it looks very similar. So I can actually run this in my room, and it's going to hold the same look as a TGR, even though it's different. It's not going to be such a vastly different look that my whole design's going to be changed. I'm going to have a weird metal rack with XPVC, and it's going to look like a hodgepodge. Shit's going to look the way I want it to look. And then this one's enclosed sides, but you did mention it doesn't have to be, correct?
Yeah, I don't have to do enclosed sides. I prefer enclosed sides because, like you were talking about earlier, I love TGR's racks. That's what we had. That's what we wanted to go with. I have one from them. I have an FB20, and I was going to further that. And then since they closed the door, decided to make my own, and people showed interest, so now we're doing this. But, oh crap, I got off topic. What was the question?
We were talking about you could be do open sides if you want.
Yeah. But one of the problems I had on theirs was losing heat. So if I'd ever lose power, in 15 minutes, my FB20 is down to like 72 degrees, where my other enclosed racks, whatever style they were, holds the temperature a little bit longer. They'll stay at 86 for a little bit longer. So I wanted the enclosed sides. But if you want the cheaper option, or if you're worried about mold or something and you're not really worried about price or whatever, I can do that, and it'll be a little bit cheaper, just less material.
Right. So you have the option either way. But I actually, all mine are open-sided until this one. But I actually really like the enclosed sides because of the fact that with the dado cuts, and this being a flat piece, the rack isn't getting thicker to add that enclosed side. It's not an extra piece. It's all built in. So I think it looks really nice. And then, two, the stacking system. So before, we had the stacking clips on the original ones, and it was this. Now you've ran where these actually screw together.
Yep.
So they're going to have, and they're going to hold. That's going to keep that very, very strong and very, very structural. So that's pretty awesome. Now I'm going to get out of the way and let Kurt take around the back. Now you talk about the back and how you've done, because the whole back of this is what I think the main differences are. When we talked about the dado cuts on the front, and before we get there though, I want to read it. These are going to be available, right?
Yep.
So people could hit you up on your website now and start putting, I don't want to say a lead time because it depends on how many orders come in and whatnot, but you're ready to start manufacturing these on, a small scale at this point, ready to expand as needed to kind of meet the market demand if it shows up.
Yeah, I mean, I think I can get done where lead time shouldn't be any more than 3 weeks, something like that, maybe a month at first, and then eventually I'd like to get those lead times down. What's going to get the lead times down is getting bulk material in. Right now I don't have the capital to get an order of 500 plastic sheets and 500 tubs and everything's sitting there waiting for orders to come in. So when I can do that and get those bulk orders, that lead time will go in. But yeah, these will be available whenever this video launches.
So when the video launches, if you want one, hit him up on the website. It should be linked in there, the Facebook page. And these are ready for you. Before you make the decision, go take a look at the back, because I think there's a lot of changes back there that make a huge, huge difference.
So back here on my wiring, for one, this is the biggest thing for me. A lot of racks will have wiring just hanging out. There's no cord management or anything. So what I've done is drilled holes, and these holes are inset from the back piece. So all your wiring is contained, and you don't have to ever worry about that. The tubs are never going to hit the wire. They can go on through, which they're not because of the back, but you get the idea. And then also, like Matt was saying, there's no glue. So these runners, those runners are actually screwed in, 2 screws per runner. Yeah. And then your heat tape is stapled in on there. And then I've also included this third runner. I know the Gen 3 started doing it with TGR, but the Gen 2s didn't, and your heat tape would always sag on you. So I'll go ahead and take care of that problem now while I know about it, and that's included in there. And then, like you saw earlier, this back piece is also dado cut. So you've got the dado cuts on 3 sides.
You're not gonna look at me through the rack, huh? You're not gonna be goofy. Jeez, I'm trying to be goofy. So basically, I guess what we're getting at, guys, is at all those times, well, what are you gonna do? What's gonna be out there? You're gonna do this, you're gonna do that. The coolest thing about all this, and I'll quit looking at this tunnel now, is simply that the answer didn't come from a large company. The answer came from somebody who wanted to start something and had the ingenuity and the drive to build it. They're also a Patreon member, so we'll kind of talk about that on Patreon. They're going to help that community out as well. And that's what I really wanted to see. I mean, I can't do this myself. This is not my area of expertise. So like I could not say, well, we'll just start building racks. I'm like, trust me, that would have been a horrid shit show. I can barely manage t-shirts, let alone managing moving or building these. But I love the fact that this is coming from, just somebody who's like, I'm going to start doing this, and not from Freedom Breeder ARS. That's not to rip those companies or Sea Serpents or any of them. I mean, they've done some great stuff and they've established theirs. I'm not trying to take it away from them. But I love the guy starting out. I just love the underdog who's like, I'm going to do this. I'm going to build something. That's like the most American thing. Sorry if that offends any of our foreign viewers, but America kicks ass. The rest of you, sorry. We do like our English people. We have a lot of people in UK that watch us. Screw you Canadians. Just kidding. Holy shit, I got to stop.
I'm going to apologize anyways.
Well, they drink weird beer. And according to South Park, their heads just do this all the time. I don't know. Anyway, I know it's bad. But I just love the fact that this is going to be a story if it succeeds, and I think it will because of product. It appears simply amazing. We're going to be using this for at least the next month and kind of give a report in about a month about what we think and what we've noticed. And I have no doubt it's going to be great. But then it's an American story of the American dream. Seeing something, building something, starting from scratch, and making something where there was a gap. And I love that kind of story. That's to me, that's what I want to see. I like to see that in this reptile hobby. I think there's room for innovative products from just people like you and me who aren't huge companies who have been here for 30 years.
I appreciate it.
Oh man, this is the solution I wanted. So for everybody that asked, here it is. Here's the solution. And it's still XPVC, which I really like that material. It's still the floating tub design, which I think is much safer for the animal, and I really like. It brings in a lot of the things from the Gen 3, like the third runner, that I thought was a big, big add. And then on top of that, I think it's just built beefier. I like the 3 screws. I love the dado cuts. And my favorite thing, because I know a lot of people, that one of the complaints I would hear would be when people would buy a 10 stack, or 2 5s, and they'd put it up, was that it felt wobbly. And yeah, it is. It got better with time, but it was still just by the way it was designed. But look, it's such a huge difference. And this is the first time I've gotten to see this built. So I keep going back to that. That's an unbelievable. I don't know another way to show you. So if you guys have any questions, feel free to send us a message, or better yet, send him a message, because I'm going to be like, yeah, it's really cool. Send him a message. You might as well just start there anyway. Is there anything you want to add about these that we haven't mentioned?
No, we've pretty much covered everything. I do want to
point
out.
Black and white, or just black right now?
Black and white, yeah. Black and white will be available. No other colors than that. I can't do crazy purple and neon, and I wish I could do purple racks for you. But
if you could do purple, we'd have to redo the whole room. It'd be really expensive, and Kurt would kill me. But he'd be like, you can't do purple racks on a purple wall. And I'm like, well, maybe I can.
But no, it's this isn't a rip on TGR either. It's
absolutely not.
I love Eric's company. I wish that they didn't go out of business, but. Right. The simple fact is that they did, and I need racks.
Yeah, so. The rest of the world keeps moving, and it's unfortunate. And you're right. If anything, rather than being a rip, it's more of a damn, that was a great product. I want something similar, but still making your own improvements, which basically just means multiple people's ingenuity have gone into this product, which is kind of how America works, except for when we made New Coke. We should have never made new Coke. No.
Stop putting flavors in Coke.
Yeah, just leave it the same. Okay, Coke, please quit fucking us over on that. But in general, everything, we had the Model T Ford, and we didn't just go, oh, well, we should stop building cars. We made the Model T. It's perfect. Yeah. We got Ferraris and Lamborghinis now. Well, I don't. Miguel does. I don't. But, something bad today. But anyway, I can't complain. I got fun toys. So I'm not going to say much. But, the nice thing is, that's how we work as a country. And yes, it's not a dig. So if anybody's thinking, oh, they're ripping on TGR, man, that's not the case. It's just simply, we're going to have needs, you're going to have needs, other people are going to have needs. And that part of the market had a hole, so you filled it, right? And I think you did a damn good job of filling it. This is going to be amazing.
I'm hoping so. Hoping everybody likes it.
Well, I can tell you, from what I've seen so far, now again, we haven't plugged it in. I'm going to let you show the thermostat before we go, because you want to talk about that thermostat that you got picked up for these. But I haven't plugged in or used it yet. But I know enough about the design that I'm very, very confident. And when we test it, I'm going to do something that I normally wouldn't do. Once we get it set up over probably the next week when I get some time, we're just going to put snakes in it. Like right away, we're not going to just kind of run it dry and see. I'm going to trust enough that I'm going to move animals into it and test it with my animals. Now this will be holding mostly breeder males, so that's what's typically in these. I have some females in 40s. I won't move them yet, not because of not trusting the product, but they're ready to lay. I got one that I'm not going to disturb because she's going to pop eggs.
Yeah.
But once she lays, she may very well move to one of these, if not to a 70. So we're going to trust it that much and have snakes within the next 5 days. So where's this thermostat that you recommend for these things that you found is kind of cool? And then I think you also had, is it still upstairs?
Yeah, it's still upstairs.
Okay, we forgot it upstairs. But there was one thing we really wanted to show with that thermostat, and that I think is on this back panel here too. You have this pre-set up for a thermostat wiring, right?
Yeah. So this is being yours, and anybody that orders one, if you want the probe location in a different area, just let me know and I can put it in there. It's not a big deal. But that's the hole pre-drilled for the probe. So being in the middle, you can do it.
This tub in this case, right?
Right, it'd be that tub. So being in the middle like that, you can either choose to put it on the heat tape directly back there and set it and forget it, or you can do like some other people do and put it in the tub. Either way, you'll be able to do that.
And the nice thing about this is it comes back to cord management. Like right now, I literally have a probe cord hanging out over here that the probe failed. I replaced the probe. I just tucked it in there. Yeah. And it's like, I can't get it out because it's pinched into a bunch of shit and it's hooked up to nothing and it just, wherever it's at, it's just kind of stuck. So cord management is a big deal. I'm really excited about the pre-drilled probe hole because everything will be easy to tell what probe's going to what rack. It's going to drop right down. It's just going to be very nice.
On the final production ones, these won't be like this because I ran into this issue building your rack, obviously working out all the kinks. This will be cut. So I'm going to make a straight cut across here. So this back panel will be split into two. I'll have the top piece and this bottom piece. So you'll be able to take your whole panel off without having to move your cord with it, basically, because that's the one issue with it.
Do you have a hole in the middle for a probe?
If you don't specify what you want, what I'm going to do is I'm going to drill a hole in the middle. You order one rack, hole in the middle on the middle tub, and then I'm also going to put a hole on the bottom tub. That way, if you get multiple racks, whatever rack you want to stack up on top, you'll always have a hole right here on your bottom one, so on your middle one on a twin stack, and then you'll always have your middle tub for a probe.
So you're talking about like maybe here and here or here and here kind of thing.
Yeah, correct.
And the reason for the middle is because if you're going to run that temperature, heat's going to rise, so these may be a little bit warmer, these may be a little cooler, but by running the middle, you're going to be the most accurate across the board. Or if you run the probe up here, you're going to be way too cold below and vice versa, right? This magically showed up. Amazing. We have crew here. So this was the thermostat you were talking about. And we kind of already showed how this would work. This was a probe that would wire through, then come back up. And then, of course, this is a Herpstat too. Herpstat, if you're looking for a YouTube sponsor, call me. I like you guys. Your product's good. So I'd work with you. I won't work with other thermostat companies because I like your product. I am a whore. I will take, anyway, I'll quit trying. So talk about this thing because this is brand new. Like I've never seen these yet.
Yeah, I mean, I haven't tried it yet. I don't know a whole hell of a lot about it, but this is Herpstat's new Wi-Fi and email enabled thermostat. So everything's built in. So you got companies like Sensor Push that you can put all the stuff in. You can buy the Wi-Fi gateway for that. It does the same thing. You can connect on your phone via Wi-Fi, and it also emails you and sends you graphs through, I'm assuming, an app. I got to see. But yeah, they're doing, I don't know if there's any more available now. I know it was a trial run when I ordered it. So we'll see.
So if those come available, what you're saying is you could take a 10 stack rack here, pair it with this, and one, you're going to have a super safe rack with the floating tub design. Yep. Two, if anything gets out of whack, you're going to get an alert on your phone, so you have to be checking it constantly, which would also be great on an incubator, by the way. So all kinds of cool stuff and the technology come out to improve these. Yeah. Man, that's all I got, unless you got something else you want to share. We meant to have that there. So
I think the only thing I did forget, the wiring, I was going to point out, the wiring used in that's 14 gauge solid wire, and it'll handle up to 600 volts. So that's not pushing anything. They're pushing 23 watts a foot on the 12-inch
Right.
heat tape back there.
And you
there's
basically-
2.5 feet of heat tape. So
That's the total amount of heat tape here.
yeah,
So even when this thing's running full, then if you're talking 2.5 feet of heat tape, 23 watts a foot, you're looking at 46 plus about, we'll call it 12, about 58. So a little under 60 watts.
a little under 60 watts. Yeah.
So
you're not running.
this is not going to like.
You're running a light bulb basically.
Yeah, so this is going to throw your electric bill up, and that's only when it's heating. It's not going to be running 24/7.
Right.
So it should be running pretty economical, especially with the solid sides.
Yeah.
Save your. So for you kids, tell your parents good day, like tell them it's like turning on a light bulb, right? For 8 hours a day. Tell them Matt said so. That'll get it done. No, it won't get it done. But actually, if you tell your parents you watch me, they'll probably make you stop. And if you're under about 8 and you're not watching with parental permission, you probably shouldn't. Okay, just to stop now. Go tell your parents I found something on the internet that was bad, and I'm sorry. That's what you should probably do. We don't make these for children, so don't punish me, YouTube. You bastards. Anyway, anything else you want to add about this before we go?
No, I think covered it.
All right, Cody, you want to add?
No.
All right, guys, thanks for watching. Look for these to be out. Hit up Cody. Get one of these. Give it a shot. I'm really excited. And like I told you, I didn't know what I was going to do, but the answer would come. The answer came.